Just out walking by Spokane River. Beautiful down here. Had family members ask me the harsh question about abortion. I want to be honest and give everybody an opinion. It's just an opinion. Everybody has an opinion. I don't mean to change anybody's opinion or hurt anybody's feelings. Number one, it's not a man's issue. It's a woman's body. She has to go through the pain of childbearing. She has to go through the guilt if she's going to get an abortion, the guilt that she's going to keep a baby. God forbid if a woman's raped. I heard about this case where the rapist did some time in jail. She kept the baby, and then when he got out of prison, he got involved in the course, and he actually now has parental rights, and he gets to come visit his son. And could you imagine being a woman who was raped, and now the rapist gets to come to the house every other weekend and take the baby away? Some of these laws and some of these things are harsh stuff. I have to make it very personal. If my daughter had a rape baby, if my wife was raped by a man, do I have the right to tell my wife to hold on to that baby, to keep that baby? She's the one who's traumatized. She's the one who's going to go through all this. If people want to keep the baby, bless them. Bless them. But see, the system is full of children that aren't adopted and are in foster care. And I think it would be devastating for a child to go through that adoption program, wondering why mommy and daddy didn't keep me, and then find out that he's actually a rape baby who was given up for adoption. That's a lot of trauma there. And then let's put your money where your mouth is. If people are hardcore against abortion, let's adopt. How come we have so many kids in these systems? If there's millions and millions of people who think that people should keep babies, there are millions of kids all over America that need families who love them and want to take care of them and make them feel like they belong. Now, when does a child have rights? When does a fetus have rights? Some of these subjects are very harsh. Can the fetus live outside the mother? At what age can a fetus breathe on its own without the mother's help? Because early on, that baby is part of the mother. It is not a separate thing. It is part of the mother, and if the mother dies, the baby dies. And they cannot save the baby. They can't take the baby out and save it because it's too young. Maybe as our technology gets better, we can save babies at younger ages, I suppose. Is abortion being abused? Sure it is. Sure it is. We have way too many abortions in America. I agree with you. People have sex not to have babies. They have sex for pleasure. And it's probably a huge percentage of people that have sex. They're not planning on making babies. That's, in a way, in a way, it's a mistake without a doubt. But how do we stop that from happening? How do we cut down on abortion? Birth control. Birth control, hardcore. But again, lots of religions don't like birth control. They don't want to sell it. They don't want to. They don't believe in it. So therefore, lots of people are going to have a baby that maybe they didn't want, and now, I don't want to say stuck with, because I'm not trying to be harsh. I see that once the baby's born at a certain age in the mother's womb, it is a living thing. But again, as a man, I don't have any right. This is her body. If I had sex with a woman and got her pregnant, and it was a one-night stand, and she says, "Trent, I'm pregnant, I'm going to keep the baby," and then I'm going, "Holy cow, I don't want you to keep the baby," that's 18 years of child support. I don't love you. I didn't plan to make a baby. Why aren't we making babies with people who want to have babies that you love and respect and you care about and you're going to stay with? So I believe in that. But I don't believe in abstinence as a good answer. One, it doesn't work. It can work for a very small percentage, but when all the studies will tell you that young adults are having sex, they're having sex. And Texas tried to do an abstinence in school. They were teaching this, and the council, the city council, and the congressman and stuff was pushing this law to be enacted. But when you went to ask the city congressman and all these people on the council if they had abstained from having sex and waited until they get married, not one of them had abstained from having sex. They all had sex before they were married. So if you're going to push a law onto people, or pass an ordinance, it better be a righteous law, and you better be included in that law, and you better be, it can't be deceivious. So, what does the Bible say about abortion? Actually, it doesn't really mention much about abortion, but there's lots of scripture, and I'm not trying to get in a war with scripture. I don't believe in condemnation, and I don't believe in judgment. What I get out of the teachings of Jesus Christ is love and forgiveness. Love and forgiveness as a father. If I had a daughter who was homosexual, it's love and forgiveness, not judgment and condemnation. If I had a daughter that got pregnant out of wedlock, it's love and forgiveness, not judgment and condemnation. If we're reaching judgment and condemnation and massive judgment, and we're learning that from the Bible, I will let you know that that is wrong. That anybody is going to judge us for any of these actions, it is God the Father. Us humans love to judge each other all day long and point fingers. But all through the Bible, it will tell you not to do that. Not to do that. And Jesus was the embodiment of love. Love and forgiveness, that's what I get out of his teachings. If you're going to be Christ-like and you want to know about God and know about love, that's synonymous. The closer you can get to God, you go out and love. You go out and love unconditionally. You're a parent and you love your children and you forgive them. And yes, we all make mistakes. All of us make lots and lots of mistakes, without a doubt. But the judgment comes from the Father. So it's a very harsh subject, and I'm not trying to hurt people's feelings. And if you have a different belief, of course. I also believe that religion shouldn't get involved. The Christian Bible is for people who purport to be Christian and have agreed to follow that doctrine. The Christian Bible does not apply to Muslims. It doesn't apply to Jews. It doesn't apply to Hindus or Buddhists or atheists or pagans. That's not their doctrine. That's not their belief. Yet every religion seems to want to, they're hypocritical. You sure wouldn't want any Muslim Sharia law passed in America, if they ever had a majority over the top of you dictating any Muslim law. You would fight that venomously. The Christians would fight that. No way would they ever want that to happen, or they let that happen. Yet they find it very easy to try to take Christian doctrine and Christian law and blanket all of America and try to get everybody to agree with Christian law and Christian doctrine. If you're not a Christian, that book doesn't apply to you. It only applies to people who purport to be Christian. If you agree with them sorts of values and you want to, and I'm telling you, there's some wonderful, beautiful stuff in the Bible, without a doubt. But I don't get judgment and condemnation out of the Bible. The love chapter of Corinthians will tell you that you can have all these gifts. Judgment maybe is a gift. You can have all these gifts. The greatest is love. If you don't have love in your heart, who cares about all the judgment and condemnation? The greatest gift you can have, this says it in the Bible, the greatest gift you can have is love. And then it says, pursue love. Pursue love. Don't pursue judgment. Don't pursue condemnation, because listen, we all have family members that are homosexual, or we've all had loved ones who have had abortions. And maybe later, as years go on, I'll let you in on a few secrets about abortion. But there's lots of studies that will say that a lot of the men who say they're totally against abortion, who have had daughters and wives who have had abortions and don't know about it, because their wives and daughters are so afraid of their father's opinions and the judgment that comes with that. So I love everybody and I bless everybody, and it was real harsh trying to come up with a way to talk about this, because it's a very harsh subject, and I'm not here to hurt anybody's feelings. Again, I don't think men should have very much opinion on this. I wouldn't force a woman to have an abortion, and I wouldn't force her to keep the baby. We need to be more mature sexually, without a doubt. We need to cut down on abortions, without a doubt. But we tried that with alcohol. We tried to outlaw alcohol, whether it was the right thing to do or the wrong thing to do. It went crazy. It backfired tremendously. If you outlaw abortion, it does not stop abortion. What happens is now you have back alley abortions. Now you're jeopardizing not only the baby, you're actually killing women. You're actually killing women who, for whatever reason or another, don't want the child. Now, we'll take it back a notch, and I'll let you know the Creator, in His infinite wisdom, has created the female species with the natural ability to have an abortion. It's called a miscarriage. Women, sexual women, women who are sexually active, the reports that I've heard, that there's so many miscarriages that every woman on the planet has had a miscarriage in their lifetime. That's an abortion. It could be simple stuff, from being a woman stressed out It could be a heavy period sometimes that they might not even know it was abortion or a miscarriage, a stillbirth. Lots of women know this though. Lots of women, and this is women's issues. I'm not an expert. I don't mean to be an expert at all. Lots of women have had miscarriages, and that affects them deeply. They know that that was a life form, but it happens. It happens naturally. So if God was so against abortions of some form, why would a woman have the ability, a natural ability, when something's wrong, that she can get rid of the baby automatically? She can be overstressed. She could physically overwork. She could fall down a flight of stairs. She can ride a horse, and there's so many ways that this can happen. And I'm not a supporter of abortion, because I believe in pro-choice. Does not mean we should all run out. I'm a man. I don't have the bodily functions to have an abortion. I would never judge or condemn a woman. It's been abused without a doubt, and we are immature in our sexuality in America without a doubt. And I think this through maturity and sex education and birth controls and abstinence, that can be a part of it too, without a doubt, we will cut down drastically on abortions. And that's one thing I would do, is heal each other through love and forgiveness. Heal each other through love and forgiveness. Judgment and condemnation doesn't heal us. That does not heal us. You know, prisoners get out of jail all day long and they just repeat offenders because they're never forgiven. They're judged, but they're never forgiven. And they live with that condemnation and judgment their whole lives. And they continue to do the same crimes over and over and over. So for people to move on and get on with their lives and heal and grow and mature, it's through love and forgiveness. That's the message I get off of Jesus Christ. He was the ultimate embodiment. 1 John says God is love, and Christ means anointed or christened with the power of God, which was the power of love, unconditional love. And anyway, we'll talk more about the Bible. I actually want to do some posts. There's a few cousins that do some really good posts on religion, and I have a kind of a different take on some of the scripture. And you know, I know everybody gets mad if we misinterpret things in the Bible, I guess, but we can go back to the Garden of Eden sometime, and that's why I'm going to start with some posts eventually. It's going to be called the Now Testament. We have an Old Testament and we have a New Testament, and I think we're going to go farther, and we're going to do a Now Testament. But anyway, I love and bless everybody. I hope I didn't make anybody too angry at my rantings. I just encourage everybody to love and forgive each other as family. We condemn someone who's it's their loved ones. We condemn a woman. If we condemn abortion, we're condemning family members. If we condemn homosexuality, we're judging and condemning family members. And I won't have a part of that. That hurts me. That hurts my soul to try to pass judgment on each other. And I get great solace from the Bible that tells us not to do that. And I think that's the right path. The right path is a path of non-judgment for us humans. It's forgiving and healing. And I know we're immature, and I know that we're not there yet. I'm not trying to jump into a utopia society. There's some bad people out there, without a doubt. So, but anyway, I love and encourage everybody, and I bless you. Sorry my rant is so long.